up,
CF students?
Welcome to Vive Online. We are so excited to be with you tonight. So excited to worship together. It's going to be a great night.
It's been awesome already. You guys are already in the best seat of the house. You're watching online on YouTube, and we love having you hang out with us. But Ryan,
what?
Tell them what's up.
Well, listen, you need to know we're going to be right here every Wednesday night live on YouTube forever.
And ever and ever.
But also, all of our campus locations are open starting tonight. And so if you're able, if you want to, you can always join us here. But we'd love to see you in real life too, if that works for you. So come to our campus locations. We'd love to see you every week.
That's true. If you're ready, we're ready. But tonight, you're with us.
That's right.
And because you're hanging out with us,
we're going to treat you right.
Yes.
We're going to get you something special.
Right? We were reading the comments before service, and some of you were a little sad about the homework.
Homework. Right? Everybody's got so much homework.
Man,
which I don't really understand.
You said you have so much.
I thought it was all homework. Like if you're homeschooled.
That's true, isn't it?
All homework.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
this
here,
is why I get pissed.
We're going to help you out. We want to give away some coffee tonight.
Yeah, you need some caffeine. You got to stay awake to do all of your homework.
Absolutely. And so a couple things we want to know in the chat. First one is this. Are you a Dunkin' person or a Starbucks person? Because
answer Dunkin' if you want to be my friend.
There's only one right answer, and that's not it. And it's usually not both, right? Like people don't really like both. But here's what you need to do. If you want some free coffee, you have to guess in the chat what our favorite drinks are, okay? And so my name is Ryan.
I'm Joy. Hey.
And so put one of our names and what you think we drink at Starbucks. We're going to look at the chat right now. We're going to see what you guys are saying. And if you can guess what either one of us drink, caramel frappuccino, Amy says, is that yours? Name mine.
I'm going to guess Ryan's favorite drink is an upside down, quadruple blended, on fire, double cup Starbucks frappuccino.
Mocha venti with room, no foam. Anybody? Joy, they say you like a latte. They're not very specific.
Wow.
Ryan, caramel macchiato. That's close.
She said, Ryan, your favorite coffee is coffee.
I like it all.
Ryan, a pink drink.
I've never had one, but I'm interested.
You're missing out.
Interested. Let's see. Iced tea.
Decaf coffee. They think you need to chill a little bit.
Yeah. What the heck?
You have a little too much energy.
I do like tea. What has anybody gotten yours? Pumpkin latte. I am a fan.
Okay, I feel like I can give it to Hannah.
Okay,
Hannah Rivas.
An
iced tea. I'm a refresher person at Starbucks. So I'm sorry, I let you down. Yep. All of my coffee drinkers, but I'm a refresher kind of gal.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna get Hannah some coffee, right?
Hannah.
Nobody guessed mine. I'm with Ariana Grande. I like the caramel cloud thing. I don't even know what it's called. So I just say, give me that thing.
Give me the thing that Ariana Grande drinks. I bet that goes over really well at Starbucks.
Yeah, they love it when you order stuff and you make it up. It's great.
Well, because we know you guys are back in school, I thought it'd be fun to do a little game.
Absolutely.
Let you guys laugh a little bit. Not at me, but at Ryan.
Perfect. Great.
So we're going to play a game. Ryan, are you smarter than a high schooler? Spelling bee edition.
I don't need oh, great. Fantastic. I don't need a game to figure out I'm not smarter than a high schooler.
I believe in you. Okay. Kind of. But I invited my friend Keegan. What's up, Keegan?
Hello. Y'all make some noise in the chat if you know and love Keegan from our Gardens campus.
Yeah, I knew that I couldn't spell. You got to know your strengths. That was not my strength. So I got my friend to do it. So here's the deal. I have all these fun cards in here. I know what you're thinking, Joy. You're so prepared, and you're right. I am. And we're going to see who can spell the most words right. Keegan, you're up. We're going to start a little easy. Yeah. Ooh, she told him. She's going down. Keegan, your first word is Pharaoh.
Okay. Pharaoh. 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 Are you serious?
I know those really. That's okay. That's okay.
I like this. Feeling good.
It's a little warm.
You thought you were coming out strong, Keegan.
Yeah.
I got this.
It's okay. Keep it humble. Ryan, your word, Shadrach.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Wow, look at Shadrach.
Okay. Shadrach. Shadrach.
Wow,
Shadrach.
Good job. I like that you did the little spelling bee thing where you close your eyes and think about it in your head.
I got this.
Okay, Keegan, I believe in you for this one.
I don't.
I got you. I believe in you.
Okay,
The
okay.
word is Moses.
Okay, Moses.
Did you hear that? I didn't.
No.
Keep going.
Moses. Moses.
Wow, a genius. Genius. Give it up for Keegan in there. Ryan, your next word?
Noah. You're going to give me Noah?
I would.
Okay.
Noah, I am not going to do that.
You did not just make that joke.
Okay, your word, Israelites.
Okay. ISRAELITES.
All right, whatever. See ya.
Can you give me a hard one next time?
Wow, he's getting
He's
confident.
getting a little cocky, and I'm kind of offended.
Okay, your word, Keegan, I need you to get this right.
I need to get this right as well for my
Guys,
confidence.
it's mean that I'm wanting Ryan to lose. I know. I'll pray about it later. But Keegan, your word is a book of the Bible. Please don't get this wrong.
Girl.
Philemon.
What did you
Or
just say?
Philemon, if that helps you. Or Philemon, if that helps
Okay, no,
you.
I got this. How do you pronounce it?
Any of the ways. Philemon.
I'm gonna go Philemon.
I hope that helps you get it.
I'm gonna go with Philemon. PHILE.
Go with your gut.
MON.
Yeah! Ryan, I feel like this
Are we
one.
tied right now? I think we're tied. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're tied. He's not keeping track. Your word is Philippians.
Okay.
Too much time to think about it. Come on.
1 L, 2 P's. PHILIPPIANS.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Guys, at least you
You
know.
didn't bank on me being good at this.
No, I didn't, honestly. At least you know our student director is in the right
I
spot.
spelled Pharaoh wrong.
It's okay. That's okay. This one,
fine.
I really hope you get.
Me too.
But it's really hard at this point.
I couldn't even get Pharaoh.
And you got the easy ones wrong. But this word is Jehoshaphat. I'm so sorry. If I could change the word, I would. But that's your word.
Okay.
I endorse cheating. It's fine.
J. O.
Yeah, imagine having a name Jehoshaphat. Just call me Joe.
J. E. S. T. E. P. H.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have you sit down.
Joe for short. That was good. That was really good. I wouldn't
It
have.
was an honest.
I wouldn't have
It was
gotten
an
anywhere
honest
close.
effort, guys. I hope you're trying to comment. Some of these are a lot harder than you think. Speaking of a difficult word, Ryan's word is Nebuchadnezzar.
Oh no.
Too much
Can I like phone a friend or how
You
does
can't
this? Is that
phone a
this
friend.
game?
Keegan was out here struggling.
All right. Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, so NEBUCHADNEZZAR. ER.
What's your final answer?
Dang it. AR.
Okay, you did good. You got it right. But I don't understand how.
That's a lot of money spent on Bible degrees.
That's true. You earned it. Keegan, I'm so sorry. This will be our last word. Okay. It's a person. He has a song. I don't know it. I didn't grow up in Bible world, but it's Zacchaeus.
Joy, this is embarrassing.
If I would have known, I would have given you like
Okay.
Jesus. But I can't change it.
I got this. Z.
Right.
This is either gonna really embarrass me. E. CH. No.
Well, Keegan, you tried, and that's
I'm
what's
gonna
important.
sit down.
Thank you for joining us. On
Make
our
some noise
talent
for
show.
Keegan in the chat. Did a great job. That was awesome.
The effort was there.
It's so good. Absolutely. I just don't like to lose. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, guys, before this, Ryan was studying flashcards on
Random
any
Bible
on
words.
any Bible word.
Yeah, it's true.
But it paid off.
Hey, we have a great night in store. We're going to continue in worship tonight. And so we want to encourage you wherever you are tonight. It's time to lean in. It's time to lift our voices and sing and worship the Lord. And then we're going to hear an incredible message tonight from our friend, Micah Mac. And so we're excited for that. So let's worship together, and then we're going to jump into God's Word.
Set free. Cf.Students, what's up? My name is Micah Mac, and I wish I could be in Florida with you right now, maybe hit up the beach after service, just kind of hang out with you guys. I am pumped to be able to be with you tonight and deliver a message that's on my heart. But before we get started, I need you to know something about me. I travel across America speaking to teenagers, literally all over the U.S., and I love to do something to get something started, to kind of get the blood flowing, get people awake. So here's what I want you to do. This is really dope. This is really awesome. I need everybody's participation tonight. No one cannot do this, but here's the deal. This is not an excuse to punch your neighbor or to punch someone sitting next to you. But here's what I need you to do. This is awesome. You'll love it. It's amazing. I need everyone to put your hands out to the side like this. Everyone right now, put your hands out to the side like this. And then on the count of 3, I want you to clap above your head, okay? Ready? Everybody together. Everyone's got to do this, all right? Every person. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, as I got a bunch of Florida people to become Minnesota Vikings fans. Congratulations, Florida. I'm so happy you guys are now joining us up in the north, one of the best teams in the NFL. We play the Green Bay Packers, and when you're watching this back, you'll see if we won or not. But I am from Minnesota. I'm married to a beautiful girl named Steph, and I got 2 kids. It's where we live. And if you've never been to Minnesota before, it does not snow all year round, and it's an amazing, amazing state. But hey, I wanted to get started into tonight's message, and I have to start by asking a question. Does anybody in the room have a fear? Like, you're afraid of something, maybe it's heights, maybe it's public speaking, maybe it's spiders. Here's what I want you to do. On the count of 3, I want every person out loud to shout their fear, okay, what you're afraid of. On the count of 3, I want every person to say their biggest fear. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, some of you did, some of you didn't. For me, one of my biggest fears growing up was actually someone breaking into my house. I don't know if anybody in the audience is the same fear of someone robbing you or breaking in, but I think the reason why I was so afraid of someone breaking into my house was because I grew up in a house where at night, true story, I would see guys climb up a tree and see them sitting in a tree across the street from my house, and all I could see were their 2 legs dangling, and they'd be staring at my house at night, and I'd be like, Dad, you gotta call the police, because there's some dude watching our house again. And my dad would call the cops. The cops would come and shine their giant spotlight up in the tree. True story. And we would see guys jump down out of the trees and start running from the police. So I think the reason why I slept with golf clubs in my room is because if some dude was gonna break into my house, he'd get a putter to the head, all right? Like, I think that's why I was so afraid. And so one night, it was kind of around Halloween. My dad, by the way, I'm the oldest in my family. I got 3 younger sisters. And I don't know if there's any dudes who have all sisters in the audience, but if you're a dude and you got all sisters, these dudes, they either have anger issues or they're really patient, okay? And so I have all sisters. I'm the oldest in my family. My dad looks at me one night. He goes, son, I'm going to take your sisters to the grocery store. Do you want to come with your sisters? I will go to the grocery store and get some groceries, make it a family time. I'm like, Dad, I'm like 20-some years old. I've been surrounded by girls my whole life. I just want to chill at home on the couch, watch some Sports Center. You go bring my sisters. You go to the grocery store. My dad's like, son, I get it. I'll leave. So my dad leaves, goes to the grocery store. Some night around October, it's about 9 o'clock at night. So I'm just chilling on this big couch, watching some Sports Center. And I notice as I'm watching TV, there's a set of windows behind the TV. And I notice behind the windows, there's this man who came up to the window, put his face against the glass, and was staring at me while I was watching TV. And I was freaked out of my mind. I jumped up, I ran out the stairs, kicked open the door. I was like, hello? Hello? I saw you. I'm a 20-some-year-old dude who loves to work out. I got a beard. If you come into my house, I will jack you up. And then I immediately shut the door and locked every lock possible and putting furniture against the door. How many of you know when you're freaked out and you're home alone, How many of you know, like, you got to turn on every light in the house? And how many of you know just turning on the lights in the house is a scary thing to do? Like, when you open your bedroom door, you can't open it slowly, because if you do it slowly, well, your hand gets chopped off. So it's got to be one motion. It's like, clear, right? Like, you got to do it in one motion. And how many of you know you got to mute the sound? You got to have the lights on. So here I am, 20-some years old. The house is lit up like a Christmas tree at night. I'm freaked out of my mind. I'm sitting on the edge of the couch, and I realize I forgot something. I forgot to shut the glass door, because the glass door was open in my dad's office so a breeze could come through. And I was sitting on the couch right here, and my dad's office was around to the left. True story, I'm on the edge of my couch, every light is on, and I remember I forgot to close and lock the glass door. Well, I hear the screen door slowly begin to open up. And all I hear is just this screech. And then I hear the door shut. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to keep going. Some of you are like, stop that sound. And I hear somebody walking around in my dad's office, and my face is glued to the left to see who's going to turn the corner. And as I'm looking to the left, true story, the scariest clown mask I have ever seen in my life. All I see is the guy's head come around the corner like this. And he just stares at me for like 3 seconds. He stares at me, and he pulls his head back around the corner like this. And at that moment, I was like, You ever scream so loud, but it's just air that comes out, and you're so freaked out? And I'm thinking to myself, why do you gotta do the head thing? Like, why do you gotta do the head? Like, if you're gonna kill me, just come out and like get it over with. And so the guy comes around the corner. He's like, give me your wallet. Give me your wallet. And I'm like, all right, but it's wet. Here you go. And the guy, he takes off his mask, and it's my dad. My dad thought it was a good idea to go to the Halloween store because it was around Halloween time. He said, hey, girls, you want to see your brother get freaked out of his mind? Yeah, Dad, yeah. Yeah, Dad, yeah. So he went to a Halloween store, got the scariest mask he could find, parked the car down a couple blocks, walked around the back of the house, freaked me out. And my dad said, son, the look on your face, you were so terrified that as your father, I could no longer keep doing this to you. And I'm like, gee, thanks, Dad. You're a really good dad. Thank you so much, Dad. But here's the deal. In one moment, true story, in one moment, I thought I was going to die. In one moment, I thought my life was over. Scary mask I can still see in my mind. In one moment, I thought I was going to die. But in the very next moment, when I saw that it was my dad, it was like life came back into me. It was like I went from a moment of death to a moment of life. And tonight's message is titled for you, Death to Life. In fact, it reminds me of a story of a young man and his two sisters. Some of you have siblings, and you know what the sibling rivalry is like, but everything changed for these siblings when they got invited to come to a church like cf.students. And these students got to hear a night about Jesus and how Jesus changed everything for their life. And this brother and his two sisters ended up surrendering their life to Jesus and decided to follow Jesus and got really close to Jesus. Like their relationship changed, how they interacted with each other changed. And they started growing in their relationship and following Christ. Well, one day the brother got sick and thought, nah, nothing's wrong with me. I'm cool, I'm good. Well, it got worse and it got worse. And the sister said, hey, you should go to the doctor and get checked out. And he's like, nah, I'm not really into a doctor. That's not really me. Well, it got worse and it got worse. And so finally he goes to the doctor, and the doctor runs some tests and some scans on his body. And the doctor comes back. He goes, son, do you have family in your life? He said, yeah, I got family, but why does that matter? He said, son, I'm sorry to tell you this, but the blood work we just done on your body reveals to us that you have a terminal disease. and you maybe only have about 4 months left to live. And this young man was like, yeah, right, man, like whatever. He goes, no, son, here are the results. You need to head home because you're going to need your family in your life for the remaining months you have left. The son left, he went home, and when he walked through the door, his parents were there and his 2 sisters were there, and he said, hey, what happened? What did the doctor say? He sits his family down and begins to tell them something that changed everything. It changed the whole family. And as the son and the brother start sharing what he has, his sisters start to break down and cry, and they're in shock and they don't believe it. And then the sisters say something like this, well, hey, we know Jesus and we've seen Jesus heal people before. So we're going to believe in faith that Jesus is going to come and heal your body. We believe that Jesus is going to come and do a miracle. We're not going to stop believing. We're not going to stop praying for God's miracle to happen in your life, filled with faith. So every day they would pray. Every day they would ask Jesus to do a miracle. Well, things got worse and worse. And finally the doctor said, son, you maybe have about 1 week left to live. You need to get all your grandparents, your family around you, as these could be some of your last days. When the sisters heard the news, they didn't give up. They just kept praying. They just kept believing. And then as the family was surrounded by the bedside, they watched their brother take his final breath on this earth. And after the sisters watched their brother die, and as they began to weep uncontrollably, they started to say this out of their mouth. Jesus, if you just would have shown up, our brother wouldn't have died. Jesus, if you just would have shown up like we asked when we asked you to come, our brother never would have died. How many of you have been there before? How many of you have said the same thing? The story I just shared with you happens to be a real story. You can Google it, or you can open your Bible to John chapter 11, where Mary and Martha, these 2 sisters, watch their brother named Lazarus die, who's really good friends with Jesus. And guess what? Jesus doesn't show up when they want him to, and Lazarus ends up dying. I don't know about you, but I can relate to moments like that in my life. You see, the hero figure of my life was my dad. The person I wanted to be like was my own father. The way he treated my mom and my sisters was someone who I wanted to be like. He was a local youth pastor, a local firefighter. Everybody kind of knew who he was in our community. An amazing guy. But by the time I could be of age to join the youth group, I remember things started to change in my own family. I remember multiple nights, my bedroom was just across the hallway from my mom and dad. I remember multiple nights hearing my mom in her bedroom crying herself to sleep, and I'd open up her door saying, Mom, why are you crying? Mom, what's going on? Only to look and realize that my dad was gone. You see, my dad started to walk away from Christ, and he'd be at the bars late at night, coming home 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, stumbling in drunk. My mom was crying herself to sleep because she was watching her husband of 17 years start to do things she'd never seen him do before. As a young man, I watched things I never should have seen. Instead of seeing my dad open his Bible, now I'd open the bedroom door and see drugs all over the bed. Hey, son, why don't you leave? Why don't you go in the other room and watch the game? I'll be in there in a little bit. Saw drugs, hard drugs coming to my home. And I'll never forget the day my dad sat me and my sisters down in the living room, and he looked at me and he said, kids, just so you know, I'm going to divorce your mom. And after 17 years of marriage, my dad leaves. Said, I'm never going to step foot inside a church again. This is who I'm going to be. And now I became the man of the house as a young age. I became the oldest in my family, trying to be strong for my sisters, trying to be strong for my mom as my dad walked out. Not even a year after my dad left, my younger sister, who was 8 years old, there was a big bump in her leg, and the big bump was a cancerous tumor, 6-inch by 8-inch tumor wrapped around her femur bone. I just lost my dad. Now I'm about to lose my sister to cancer. They did biopsy on it and found out it was stage 4 cancer. The doctors gave her a 20% chance to live. Have you ever said the same thing Mary and Martha said? Jesus, if you would have shown up, my dad wouldn't have left. Jesus, if you would have shown up, my sister wouldn't have to face cancer. Jesus, if you would have shown up, my mother wouldn't have to abuse the bottle. Jesus, if you would have shown up, I wouldn't have to live the life that I'm living. You sense the tension, don't you? Because some of you in the room tonight know what it's like to be fatherless. Some of you in the room tonight know what it's like to go through a divorce in your family. Some of you in the room tonight know what it means to be broken and at a worst and most hurtful moment in your own life, because I do. Some years after that, my dad ended up passing away in a motorcycle accident. I've seen death. I've seen drugs. I've seen affairs. I've seen things a young man never should have seen. Mary and Martha witnessed their brother die that day, and Jesus finally shows up, but it's too late. Jesus shows up and says this to Martha: I am the resurrection and the life, and your brother, he will rise again. Martha doesn't believe that it'll actually happen right now. Mary shows up and starts weeping at the feet of Jesus. Jesus begins to weep with Mary and the family. And then Jesus goes to a tombstone where his buddy Lazarus has been dead for 4 days, and he looks at the tombstone and says, roll the stone away. You see, Jesus saves his final public miracle on this earth of his whole ministry for last. And this final miracle that he's about to do is watch the dead person come to life. To watch someone who was dead for 4 days and see him come to life. It would parallel something that Jesus would do some weeks after on Passover, where Jesus would die on a cross and 3 days after would be resurrected. When he looked at Martha and said, I am the resurrection and the life, he was either some crazy lunatic or he was really truly the Son of God, the Messiah, the Savior of the world. Not only did that day did he look at the tomb that Lazarus was in and said, Lazarus, come out. Breath starts entering his lungs, brain starts working, heart starts beating. That day, a dead man who'd been dead for 4 days was raised to life. Jesus was trying to model something. I don't just talk to you, I demonstrate things to you. I don't just tell you I am the resurrection and the life. I actually show you I am the resurrection and the life. Jesus raised a dead man that day, and word broke out all over the place. And what would happen to Jesus? But Jesus would end up dying on a cross for your life so that the dead things that exist inside of you, the dead things that try to follow and get on you, could be resurrected for his life and his purpose. You see, I had a dad who left. I had a sister who battled cancer. For 2 years, my sister battled cancer, going through all the chemotherapy and radiation her body could handle. For 2 years, she battled it, went through over 15 surgeries on her lungs because it had spread to her lungs. Make-A-Wish Foundation showed up to give her a wish. Her wish was to go to Disney World. Make-A-Wish will usually give a wish for kids who they know might die. My sister needed a miracle. She was on the pathway to death. I'll never forget a night where a speaker came to our church, heard about my young sister who was now 10, and said, young girl, one day you're going to come to my church in Tennessee, and you're going to give a testimony on how God healed your cancer. We prayed for her just like we've been doing for the last 2 years, and before our eyes, we watched God do a miracle. My sister went to the doctor to go get scans on her lungs to see where all the tumors had gone, and when the scans were held up, there were no more tumors in her body whatsoever, and she's been cancer-free now for over 15 years. You can clap for that. And you know how God, he loves to take things that are dead and sees them resurrected to life. The very home that I grew up in, the home where all the destruction happened, the home where my dad divorced my mom, the home where the affairs were taking place, the home where the drugs were laid out, the home where my dad was arrested in my living room and brought to jail, the home where all this disorder and dysfunction and chaos happened in my life, is the same exact home my wife and I bought 3 years ago. And every day, this home that might serve as bad memories is actually a good memory of knowing what God can do, of taking dead things in our past and seeing it come to life. I say all that to say this. It's your one and only point tonight. Jesus changes everything. Jesus changes everything. Only he can write a story better than you can. Only he can take the dead things in your life and see them resurrect for something beautiful. Your story is not done yet. Suicide does not need to be the end goal. Drugs don't need to be the resort. Lust doesn't need to be your life. Jesus came to set you free, and Jesus changes everything. It's possible you showed up tonight knowing death more than life. It's possible you showed up tonight maybe saying, God, if you would have shown up, I never would have had to walk through this. Maybe you know what it's like to be in a place of darkness and lostness. I came to tell the student tonight that Jesus changes everything, that Jesus can bring you from death to life. I want everyone in the room, please be respectful. Don't talk to your neighbor, because this very next moment can change everything. I want everything in the room, everyone in the room, I want you to close your eyes and bow your head. No one talking to your neighbor. If you're here tonight, and you've never followed Jesus before, or you're walking in sin, or you're walking in darkness, or you're wondering where God is right here, right now in this very room. And he wants to have a relationship with you right now. So on the count of 3, if you've never given your life to Christ, no one looking around, you've never given your life to Christ, or you've walked away from Christ and it's time to come back to him. On the count of 3, I just want you to put up your hand across the room. No one looking around. 1, this is between you and God calling you to himself. God bringing his life where there's death. 2, you're surrendering your life. It's not your own anymore. Now it becomes God's. And ready? 3, just put up your hands right now, wherever you are. No one looking around. Just slide up your hands. Keep them up. Don't put them down. Keep them up. I want to lead you through a prayer, all of us together. Repeat after me, everyone together. Just repeat this after me. Keep your hand up. Everyone say, Jesus. Come on, everyone. Everyone say, Jesus, thank you for dying on a cross and resurrecting 3 days later so that you could take me from death to life. Would you forgive me, Jesus, of my sins? Would you wash me and make me new and help me to follow you all the days of my life? In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. CF students, can we clap and celebrate for all the people who made a decision tonight? I'm so proud of you guys. This moment changes everything. I'm going to turn it over now to your campus pastors.
Man, what an incredible message.
Yeah. Absolutely unbelievable. What a powerful testimony that we've heard tonight of just God's grace and mercy in our lives. Listen, if you made that decision tonight and you prayed that prayer and you're beginning that relationship with Jesus, we want to come alongside you and help you, because that is literally the most important decision you can ever make. As Pastor Micah said, that's the decision that changes everything. And so if you made that decision tonight, I want to invite you to do one thing. Just text the name Jesus. Text his name to 441-441, because if you text that name to that number, then we're going to be able to reach out and connect with you and help you get started on this journey of following Jesus.
Yes, we love you. We're so proud of you for making that decision. And here's what we want to tell you. Keep coming back.
That's right.
We want you plugged in here. If you're at one of our campus locations, we're open. We want to see you in person. But if not, come back right here on YouTube.
Every single week, we'll be here. We'll have groups going online, and you can be fully a part of CF Students from absolutely anywhere. We love you guys so much. We'll see you right back here or at one of our locations next Wednesday night.
See you next week.